giant flags of Maradona and of Messi, and they made the most noise. And that's ahead, of course, of maybe the dream final. You've got Argentina against France, the holders. How much are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, it's going to be. It is, when you look at it on paper and building up to the tournament, Argentina, Messi coming to the fore, and the team surrounding him that can actually get him to a final. And then he's been just magic moments in games where he's just produced. And then you look at the French team who've, been plagued with injuries, but still have a squad good enough to get to this level with the talent they have in Mbappe, who was quiet in the last couple of games, but you expect him to have a big match. So, yeah, it's mouth-watering.
Are you looking forward to it?
I am looking forward to it. I haven't been bowled over by the last two French performances, I've got to be honest with you, against England and Morocco. Very quiet for significant periods of those games, took their foot off the accelerator, Tony. They've got to be very careful doing that against Argentina. If they give up the ball for long periods against this Argentinian team, and particularly Lionel Messi, he's going to open them up in a way which England and Morocco couldn't do. Hadn't got the quality enough high up the pitch to do that. But certainly Argentina, Messi in particular, have the ability to take the game away from them. So for me, it's more of a mentality thing with the French, that little bit of arrogance. We know we're better than you. We don't really have to play to our maximum. We'll do enough. I know that's impressive to a point, but I don't think they're going to get away with that with this Argentinian team. They're going to have to up it.
Well, when you look at how many players they're missing, even before they came here, obviously the likes of Pogba and Benzema, and then Rabiot and Upamecano missed the last day. Varane and Konate missed training, I'm told. Kingsley Coman felt unwell. There seems there's sort of a flu bug or a cold or something going around the French camp. We haven't heard any of that coming out of the Argentina camp.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. I think it's a mentality thing. You look at the French team, position to position, there's no weaknesses there, Tony. Konate, I would expect to come in at centre-half. Rabiot will probably come back in centre midfield. Real kind of balance and cohesion to the team. Real kind of physicality, dynamism. They tick every box, Tony. But yes, they've been kind of stumbled through the last kind of couple of games. Haven't been at their kind of peak performance. Now, the opposite argument will be, well, they don't have to be. They're kind of managing their energy. And when the moment comes, they'll be able to find that top gear.
Speaking of managing, though, isn't that a great credit to Didier Deschamps? What he has done, despite all those changes, they seem to keep coming back and keep being as good as.
I think what is as well, it's the fact that they've got such a spread of talented players in every position. Like, you go through their squad and they think that people like N'Golo Kante not there, and they have Tchouameni and Camavinga. Camavinga's barely even featured really in the tournament, and a player who we're all looking at and we absolutely adore when you see him play for Madrid. And then you look at the back four, you think Upamecano and Kimpembe's not there. Upamecano's played, Konate played the first few games, Varane was missing, he comes in, and they lose the left back Hernandez. Another Hernandez comes in and is probably going to be in the team of the tournament as left back. Koundé goes at right back, Pavard's being dropped. Like, you just nailed the roll off the tongue of players that they have that are more than capable of coming in and not weakening the seam at all.
Yeah,
which is.
But you are right in terms of the dressing room.
Yeah.
That's the individual qualities which they have. But pulling that all together and pulling the dressing room together, that's not an easy thing traditionally with the French dressing room. I don't think he has issue. He hasn't got Pogba there, Benzema, these type of players maybe would have caused a bit of friction inside the dressing room. But you sense as if that French team, that squad is together, Tony.
You think the level of respect they have for him, though, is huge, isn't it? That's where I think it is.
Let's talk about Argentina, though, and the emotion of this game. It seems to mean more almost for Argentina because of the Messi factor. How much is that going to be an issue, for players to get on the right emotional level coming into such a big game?
I think it is big. We had a small example there maybe in the Morocco game today. The Moroccan players getting too caught up in the occasion a little bit.
Sort of boiled over a bit.
Yeah, getting too wound themselves up too much. I think you have to use that kind of nervous energy as fuel to a point, Tony. Be more experienced you get, the more you realise it can't envelop your whole body, kind of clouds your judgment. I think Messi is probably the best example of that. The amount of pressure on the shoulders, how much people expect from him. Argentinian supporters and his teammates in particular.
But look what he gives to his teammates, even young players like Alvarez, for example.
But I think he's bringing more out of him. I think they're looking at him as this competition's going on and Messi has grown, his performances have become more significant. Messi, I think the players around them are growing, Tony, and getting more confidence. Just going to show a few of the goals here. This is
that touch there was important.
It was a wonderful touch, and he keeps going. That's what I like, Messi. This is Alvarez here. I think he had options either side of him, Tony. I don't think he exactly took the right option here. Couple of ricochets, but I give this lad credit because he wasn't in the team, Tony, started the tournament. Martinez was up central, Di Maria, Gomez played ahead of him, but he's been patient, he's waiting for his time, and at the moment...
Look at this moment, different class.
Yeah, well, Messi, we know there's no surprise here in terms of the quality, but this lad is a nice little counter balance. He's getting in and around Messi, he's making little runs, his work rate is great, and he's showing little bits of quality here and there. So it looks as if he's going to get the nod ahead of those other Argentinian
And energy
forwards.
as well. Energy, like that's what Messi needs times in the game where he just stands still, doesn't move. And it's amazing that the team around them are still working hard. And Alvarez is a huge part of that.
World football these days seems to be about individuals more than teams in terms of mass popularity. So we've had Ronaldo and Messi, but now we have Mbappe and Messi as well. But while people talk about Mbappe, is Griezmann the real star for France?
Well, he's been a player that's been asked to do something slightly different than what we've seen in the last World Cup. He was a goal threat, goal scorer, but the fact he's dropped slightly deeper, I don't think there's ever questions whether or not he could do this. Not from me in any way, because I always felt that he's such a technically good footballer. And when you come through the school of training that he was at with Atletico, hard work and tackling and being feisty and energy, that's bred into it. Someone like Simeone as your manager. So being in midfield and being able to do this, but when he gets in these positions, he possesses such a fine, deft touch of being able to play passes and get his head up. He's never got his head down. He's always looking forward. Quality pass, and this one gets put in. It's the perfect weight, gets dragged down against Poland. You know, so often he finds himself in a good position, but the energy levels he shows and the work rate to get into these areas is phenomenal. And then when he gets into it, can he deliver? Yes, he can. He's got a wonderful left foot with great vision. So for them, he's been a standout performer all over the pitch and someone who's adapted to a slightly different position than what we've expected before. And I think we spoke off air about whether or not he was going to play because he plays high and we think he's more of an attacking threat, but I don't think he's in any way neglected his defensive duties whatsoever.
I don't like him when he drops into those deeper positions. I've got to be honest with you. A lot of talk about Deschamps, this kind of new role that he's got. You can see how effective he is, Tony. He gets within 30 yards of the opposition guy. He's got that killer kind of final ball cross into the box. That's where you want to see him play. I don't want to see him play 10 yards outside his own penalty box. I want to see him outside the opposition. So I'd like to see him discipline himself and keep himself a little bit higher up the pitch for longer. I think that's when he's at his best.
I'm going to ask you the hard question and very briefly now. Who's going to win it?
My heart says Messi, my head says France.
Ken?
Argentina for me. I know you said Maradona.
Messi will get the record at least tomorrow for the amount of World Cup appearances when he lines out, hopefully, before kick-off at 26.